Hello and welcome back to Roy's Workshop. Today we're going to be building a frame for an IBC to sit on. You can see behind me various lengths and types of steel, and this is just stuff that we had loitering around. The aim is to make a raised platform for an IBC to sit on, where we can store water to put into our IBC trailer and move water around for use on like the willow, like I shown the other day, and things just around the orchard, really, things that are going to need watering, and quite a lot of it. We're very fortunate that on our land we have a natural spring, so we do have constant running water, and we're able to tap into that to sort of have water. We have a pond as well, and we're going to bring that back to life, as it has been neglected over the years. Not by us, but we're wanting to bring it back up to how it once was, and it'll be nice for the natural habitat and to have wild birds and flowers and what have you in there. So it'll be quite nice. So I'll show you the plan. Here we go. So this is the current plan. So we've already built the IBC trailer. That's been built for a number of years, and we've just sort of brought that back into use. And you can see the tap for now. So the IBC on the trailer is 1720mm high, and obviously we want to have the water and we want to be able to use gravity, so we'll make this 1900 to the base, and then we'll get a little bit more for where the valve is, and it'll be able to directly fill up into the IBC trailer. So I'm going to start a time lapse, I think. I'm going to cut up this frame to the exact measurements for the underside of an IBC, and then we're going to cut up the scaffold poles with some feet which are hiding behind the saw. We'll put them on the feet so it obviously spreads the load out a bit more. And we might put a couple of ties in, as it's going to be quite tall. Obviously we don't want the legs falling out from underneath it. But we'll make a start, and then we'll go from there. I'll start the time lapse. So after making plenty sparks, you can see the floor's now a mess, but there we go, such is life. Here's about the size of the frame, I say about. So it's 120 across the bottom, and then 100 up on the side. Totally matches this bottom size of the IBC. I'm going to put another piece in the middle for obvious support. What I'm going to do now, I'll pull the welder out and I'll tack the four corners, make sure everything's square. At least vaguely. Obviously I need to clean up all the points that I'm going to weld, because they're still rusty and crappy. So I'll get the flapping disc out, flap and disc it all up, tack it this side, flip it over, tack it the other side, and then I'll start measuring up on the poles. The poles are going to be about 6 feet, I think, give or take. And then we'll start looking at attaching them. I'm probably going to obviously clean off all the galv, and then I'm going to weld them directly onto each point of the corner. And like I said earlier, hopefully we'll have enough excess left over from all of these. We've got some clamps somewhere, some scaffolding clamps, so we'll probably put another sort of cross piece on each leg to support it. If not, we have some flat bar around which I can use as well, for a good bit of added strength. But apart from that, it seems to be going all right. Quite pleased with it, and yeah, hopefully we'll get this done fairly soon. Time for another time lapse, I think. So finally, that's the frame mostly welded up. Yeah, they're okay. Unfortunately, my cutting technique was not the greatest, so there were some larger gaps than what I expected, but we got there in the end. So this is going to be the underside. I'm going to clean all this up, and then I may put some sort of patches on the corners where the feet are going to go, just to spread the load a little bit more. But by the diameter of the pipe, actually, it might not be worthwhile, but we'll see. I'm going to put a cross member in, just for a bit more support, really, for the tank. And yeah, that'll be about it. I'm getting there. It's been a while since I've done something like this, from scratch anyway. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the welding and everything, but my cutting could be better. So there's something to learn from. I do quite like doing stuff and then learning from it and trying to do things better. You saw me earlier. I welded this corner down here, and then you saw me run the cutting disc back up it and then put a brace on. It's because I had the magnet in there and it was perfectly 90 degrees, and then I tacked and welded it in, and then as the metal cooled, it did bring the two corners closer together. And then you probably saw Stephen come in and laugh at me, because he used to do that, or it used to happen to him a number of years ago, and that's why he said to weld in that cross brace. So get it 90 degrees, weld in that cross brace, and that'll hold it physically whilst you weld it, and then when it cools, and then you can take off the cross brace and it'll stay 90 degrees. And by Jove, he was right. Damn it. But it worked really well. It is square. It's within tolerance, which is perfectly fine. And yeah, hopefully this afternoon, I say we'll finish off welding it all up, and then we might get it built as a whole. But we'll see. It's lunchtime now, so I'm going to go have some lunch. I'll be back shortly. Ciao for now. So that's the legs all cut. Fairly flat plate. Almost the same length. Quite happy with that. A couple of mil. Now I've got to attach them to each corner of the frame. Now, I can't remember which way the IBC that I'm building this for has a third stand. So I'm going to put another one in. I think it goes that way. It would make sense for it to, but who knows. Now I'm going to weld the legs onto each corner, and then I probably will throw some spot on, because these are 1850 long, so they are quite tall, and I reckon it's going to be a lot of weight up top. So, but we'll get there slowly but surely. I might I don't know how I'm going to attach some support yet, but we'll get there. Back in a moment. So there we have it. It's all fully welded and vertical, which is good. Quite pleased with it. All the legs are vertical, which is a great help. And it is 1901 high to the top level, which is totally fine. We've come up with another idea. As opposed to welding anything on and all the struts and everything, what we're going to do is using, not that one because it's too short. There's another one, so it's in the vise. Is using two of these scaffold tubes. We'll cut them down, and they will span the shortest length between two legs. So as the weight comes down, they'll take up some of the weight as well, and we'll probably put some bearers across. The current plan is to sink the legs into the ground about 6 or so inches, just for a bit more stability. There is only going to be a vertical load on these, so we're not too worried. And it is out of the wind and what have you, so it isn't going to be wafting around in the wind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chuck it on the trailer, grab the Kubota and tow it down with the Kubota and a whole load of other stuff, and then we'll put it into, or at least somewhere near the position where we want it finally. We'll get everything together. But we'll take you along for the ride. How's that? So here we are. We're in the final resting place of the frame. The frame's going to go just in there. It's out the way. We've got a black IBC as well, so nobody can be able to see it really. It's not going to damage the view. Here's the view. There we see the sheep up on the hill, and it's well, it's not really for them, but it does provide water down here. And just behind there you can see the pond. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to wait for Stephen to come back before we start messing about with it and getting it into the ground. Yeah, I'll be back in a moment. There we go. Here we go. So I've got the frame up now. I'm going across with the Nash. I'm going to put the IBC in the bucket and use that to lift it up and get it somewhere near and hopefully throw it in. I'll have to dash because I need both hands. Ciao! And there we have it. It's up, it's in. That was sketchy. Barbed wire. Really hate it. It's caught me a couple of times where it could make your voice high pitched. So there we go. Once the trees will green up, that'll disappear. And we've still got plenty. How are we going to do this? We've still got plenty room. You can just say reach it. If I was a bit taller, I could. But what we'll probably do is that we'll bring the trailer in, and you can stand on the trailer and put it in. We are expecting it to settle. It is still quite high. We've put some wood bearers at the bottom, sort of spread out the load as much as we can. But until we physically get weight in it, we won't know. So although it looks a bit on the wonk, the frame is level. It's the IBC that's twisted. Honest. It's not my dodgy welding, although it could be. So we'll leave it there for now. I'll probably do an update on this a bit later on, whenever we get it all plumbed up and get it into a sort of working order. Well, I think that'll do for now. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye now.